All right, we good? All right.
Good.
All right. All right, here we go.
Here's a shot.
Little shot of Rooney. There it is. Boom,
Shot.
boom, boom. There. I'm gonna make the most ugliest face right now.
That's how you start a show.
Oh man,
Damn.
What the
delicious water, man.
That shit.
We're all looking for chasers.
Woo.
Oh man, that was delicious.
That was amazing.
Oh man, all right, man. Here we go. Hang on Beatdrop podcast. I'm excited as fuck right now.
That's right.
You know how excited I am, dog.
Give me that energy,
We
baby.
got the homie Chris, co-founder and president of Empire Motor Group. Did I say that right, bro? Did I say it right? Kind of, almost.
Correct.
It was good.
That was
bro.
correct.
That was
Thank you.
good. How you feeling?
Great, guys. Thank you for having me. You've been asking to come up here, and I'm blessed to say, I'm here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys giving me this time.
Nah, hell yeah, bro. So let's get to it, man. Because honestly, like, you're fucking dope as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're always dropping gems online. You do a lot of good things for people. So let's just start from the jump, man. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you from, and all that good stuff.
Take us way back.
Way back. Where do I start? Let's see. As far as the industry, for how we know each other,
Yeah.
we are friends with several DJs that you all know. The one in particular is just incredible.
Yeah.
We used to kind of be his shoe connect, and that evolved to managing him. And through that, I've made a lot of fun connections, experiences, and living a dream at the moment. But sometimes living that dream requires you to kind of let go of that old life that you think and I feel like I just woke up, and I'm 40 years old, been in the Valley all my life. I'm Salvadorian and Jamaican mixed, so we are very different, as people and the upbringing, but we're all one, we're all human, and ultimately, like you guys, I am here still pursuing a dream.
Yeah,
I like that.
With the brand, it never stops. Like people think success happens overnight, but some success takes 10 years. And they're like, sometimes you don't know, but it's that desire to keep going and want. And I'm not, I'm no one special. I just feel like I'm open enough and vulnerable enough to be myself. Most of the time, a lot of these people that we meet and grow up with aren't ever really themselves.
Yeah.
Until the real happens. And sometimes the real could be money, relationships, jobs. Who hasn't had a different job? Shout out.
Tell this guy about it.
Hey, shout out to the Gap. Man, y'all provided the free clothes for a hot minute. Good looking out,
Bro, how many jobs do you think you've had? Like,
bro. I've never been afraid of working. Like, I've been working since I was young. I think my first official hustle work that I consider was I was 10 years old. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade, something like that. And my mom used to take us to the 99-cent store.
Hey.
Remember that? I don't know about y'all, but we used to go to Big Lots back in the day.
Big Lots? Yeah, Kmart.
Kmart.
Throwing a Coles in there.
My parents still go there. They be in the cut.
Kohl's was too expensive, bro.
Oh, yeah, that was a luxury.
That was a luxury.
That was a
If we were
birthday
going-
gift.
If we were going to Kohl's, I was buying a suit, or we were in church clothes. So
That's true.
So JC Penney, all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Anchor Blue. Shout out to Anchor Blue.
Shout out to
Anchor Blue.
Yeah.
Fias
Anchor
Paredes,
Blue.
I feel it.
Yeah. Y'all kept us fresh.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I used to buy erasers, guys, at the 99-cent stores, pencils. Remember those things that you buy for $1, you get 10 erasers in a pack, that you could put on top of your pencil and shit. I used to go back to school and slang those motherfuckers for 25 cents a thing. So like four in, I already had my $1 back, and I still had 6 more. So I was, and depending on, there were some hot joints at the time, depending on, what the characters were. Garbage Pail Kids. I remember that was a hot one for me, and I was charging 50 cents a fucking,
Shit.
and these kids who obviously had some money to spend, just give me 3. And I was like, I could do this every day. Fuck school, you know? But my mama was not having that.
Yeah.
I fucked up that one because that's a lesson learned. My younger brother, Danny, who I love, my best friend.
Yeah, shout out to Danny, man.
Shout out to Danny. This fool got mad at me, and I get it now. You know, but back then I was balling as a kid. 6th grade, you know, $40, $50 in your pocket. You were like, yeah, nigga, I'm the man, nigga. What y'all niggas want from the ice cream truck? And my brother came up to me, and he had seen me buy like 10 or 12 of my friends some ice cream. Yeah. And he asked me, so I was like, nah, nigga, you ain't getting nothing. I was like,
you lucky you live with me.
What's snow cone?
Only why was because my brother's the baby, so you already know how that goes. Yeah. So he was the baby brother, and you know I'm the oldest, so yeah, I probably would still get ass whoopings because of him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's just the way it was set up in my household.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he knew it. That's why I did it, Danny. That's why I did it.
You wanted to answer.
Here it is. You got it here.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, like that.
I was tired of getting your ass whoopings. Fuck no, with no ice cream. Get out of here.
Over a fucking ice cream cone.
And this nigga went and told my mom.
Oh, damn. What's up, Danny? I thought you were cool.
He was. But I did him wrong in front of everybody. You know, I get it over some fucking ice cream. I should have just given that nigga some ice cream.
I was like, fuck.
Bro, my mom came and she was like, oh, Danny said you had $200 and some dollars. I was balling there.
Yeah.
And you didn't buy him an ice cream? How the fuck are you doing this? And I, you know, erasers, notepads. Like, do you remember those All-Star folders?
Yeah.
What do you call those? The Trapper Keepers. Good lookingly. So, yeah. Well, the 99-cent store would sell the old ones. The
first generation?
When the first ones came out, all the old ones would end up at Ross or, you know.
Yeah.
I'd pick those motherfuckers up for like $3, $4.
Yeah.
For $10, you know. So I had a lot of money at the time, and I didn't share. And man, that was probably one of the worst ass whoopings I've gotten from my mom.
Shit.
Because of that. But
yeah,
you know, you're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
And I learned.
And I love you, Mom, but that bitch took my money. Like that. She took all of it. I was broke as fuck. I was mad. Like,
couldn't even re-up, huh?
Like 50, 80. Oh, that's fucked up.
It was like I was ass whooped. I was grounded, and she took my dough.
Damn.
So I was like, man. So, but not like a tremendous ass whoop. Just, you know, like a kid would get ass whooped.
Yeah.
You know? So it was fun. That was one of my first hustle jobs, I would have to say. Then with my brother, since he now was part of the business.
Yeah.
You know, we started doing things differently. When we got to middle school, it was with hot pickles and all the shit that they would sell outside of the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So we would
the
go
exclusive
and buy,
shit.
We would go and buy at the food for less.
Yeah, food for less. Yeah.
You would go buy the box of chips. You know, the whole like 24 packs. And each chip was like, you know, at the cafeteria they were charging you, I think, $1.25.
Oh yeah.
We were doing 75 cents. You know, just undercutting the market real quick.
Yeah, supply and demand.
The hot pickles. Hot pickles with the shit, nigga. People were paying $2 for back then. I sounded like I'm old as fuck, but we were having hot pickles. If you know what a hot pickle is, the juice. You know,
with
we
the
were
juice.
Oh, damn! Y'all provided the juice.
Yeah, well, it's a hot pickle.
The little bag ones.
Yeah.
Spicy ones, nigga. Woo. It was the shit.
I'm just a big motherfucker. That's how I know.
You feel me? My boy Roger was like,
Nah, my coach used to give us that for crampings.
Drink pickle juice. That's
for crampings, huh?
What do you think I was slanging it for?
Yeah.
All the athletes are pickle juice.
You cramping? I see you cramping at the
Hey, you walking a little slow.
You cramp? I saw you last. I saw your last game. You was cramping.
Yeah. How many you need? 2 or 4?
You see the guy like, kind of sore walking by, and you hit in the car like, yo, hey, I got this pickle. You know what I mean? Like,
what pickle? No.
Pickle juice, just guaranteed pickle juice. Don't get you right. You know, but we were slanging shit like that.
Shit.
And I was old. I'm older, right? So I'm 2.5 years older. So I was always a 2 grades old above my brother.
Yeah.
So when he got to middle school, I was in 9th grade, and I went to school when 9th grade was still middle school. You know, you went to high school 10th, 11th, 12th. Now it's 9, 10, 11, 12.
Is it called like college prep, something like that?
I don't know.
I think it was just like that back in the day, bro.
It was called regular school.
Yeah.
Like that. They babied y'all.
Yeah.
Now it's tracks and colors, nigga. What the fuck are we on? Like,
Yeah, tracks.
the rainbow. Nigga, no. What track are you on? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm in track C. Oh,
yeah.
I'll see after school.
Color and everything. Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
track C.
We ain't eating lunch together.
Like, fuck.
Bro, you know, the first time we were in track school, I was in 10th grade, like when it became track school. And
Yeah. Weird shit.
Bro, I went to school for the first time ever in the summer in a high school that was old as fuck, who didn't have no AC. You know what that was about? I was like, am I in jail? It was awful. And I was like, why are we going to school in summer? And that's when everything.
Yeah.
It was like luck of the draw. Like,
Yeah.
you're on A, some of your best friends that you used to kick it with all the time, and
Yeah.
now on a whole different track. And like, it's just how many fucking kids were out here. So
Yeah.
I get it. But not just pickle juice, but I used to ditch, guys. I've
Yeah.
never been good with school. Fuck
Yeah.
school. Like, I love school for what it provides, you know, a structure. But when you're a free thinker and you're a risk taker, you don't care. Rules are meant to be broken. You know, it just depends how bad
And you noticed that young? Like, when you were young, you noticed right away that
Right
you
away.
had that?
Right away.
Yeah.
I think I was probably like 8 or 9 years old when I realized that I was smarter than most of my adult surroundings, in the sense of how I felt that the world was kind of moving. Like, I understood business a little better. Like, my mom's a G. Like I said, I love my mother, but she's a tough cookie. But she used to teach us a lot about business, you know, when she realized that she couldn't stop us from making money.
Yeah.
You know, we started buying a lot more things, and instead of being out there, my brother used to do things like push carts. We used to get 50 cents a cart at the Archies and like all these marketplaces. They would pay you 50 cents a cart to bring back. So me and my brother, like slaves, nigga, we were 40 carts in the streets. And collect and go right to the ice cream store, hook it up with some ice cream. But they had like video game arcades. They were the claw ones.
Yeah.
Me and my brother were really good at those. So we used to grab those animals.
Just
you know,
hustling.
hustle, and then flip those animals at the apartment. We used to live in this like huge project apartments. Like,
So y'all were doing that shit way before when, like, now that's cool. Like, oh, you flip shit? Like, back, you guys were doing that shit from the jump.
super flipping, and it could be anything. Like, people wanted my grandma. When my grandma came from El Salvador and started living with us in these apartments, she used to make
Raspados, yeah.
charamuscas, as we call them, right?
Yeah.
The things in the bag.
Yeah. Fire, right?
Telling you, dog, I'm a big motherfucker.
Fat man approved. It's fat man approved.
I
Right?
see you.
Fat
Dang.
Yeah, choco bananas.
Oh, that's
Oh, choco bananas. That shit was a luxury, bro.
My grandma used to damn near make us go sell, but she taught us how to, like, go on every floor and knock on every door and ask them if they want some. So you have these 10, 11-year-olds, and my brother's 2.5 years younger, so he's like 8.5, 9, walking around with choco bananas, charamuscas, and candy shit, knocking on niggas' doors at the apartments that you live at.
Yeah.
Like, selling stuff. And then here's where the creative money became for us. The entertainment changed for us. We were no longer doing outdoor shit. We were still outdoor kids. We were babies kids.
Yeah.
If the lights were on, if the sun was out, we were out.
You were out,
You know?
yeah.
There was no cable TV, no streaming, none of that shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
subscriptions.
Nothing. So, you know, my mom worked a lot, so bless her heart. But my grandma kind of raised us, and she allowed us to do so much more than my mom would. Just get home before your mom gets home. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you get it? This is where we get it from. We used to have to pay her.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all want to be out? Okay.
Oh,
let's
okay,
go.
cool.
$10. Like $10. $10 to go outside, bro, because my mom would not let us go out.
Yeah.
My grandma was like, "These little niggas out here slanging and not making her money."
I
and
heard
shit.
stories about y'all.
Yeah.
So she was man. My grandma was, "How much y'all make today?" I'll take whatever.
You were like, it was a slow day. We didn't
Hey,
make
tell me
nothing,
why.
Grandma.
Yeah, tell me why he was like.
It was a slow
Hey,
day.
low-key,
We
it was
didn't
a slow
make
day.
nothing.
She's like, yeah, but you know, rent's due. So
Yeah. You tripping, fam. You tripping, thinking it. That's not a slow day over
But
here.
since you want to know about
Rent's-
business, he said rent's due.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. No, but see, that teaches you things. So my grandma realized that me and my brother were hustlers, so she allowed us to do those things. So much so,
That's dope.
we kept her in the loop. Like, that was grandma. She was a pimp. So when we got Nintendo, Sega,
Oh, wow.
Genesis, and Dreamcast,
Changed the game.
they all came out around the same timings. We had almost every time we had 2 units,
Yeah.
and one of each, right? And my mom had a door. We lived in apartment 212, Seriously,
212.
at Villa California in the valley, on Sun Valley. And we literally had, like, you know, when you walk into an apartment, sometimes there's a closet right next to it that gives it like a little hallway look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a bathroom or whatever. Well, ours was a wall. And then around that little wall was our little dining table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom had these family photo pictures as soon as you open the door on their wall, right?
Yeah.
So when you flip those motherfuckers, we used to charge these kids in our apartment. Keep in mind, this is like a five-story apartment building.
Yeah.
I'm talking a couple hundred, probably 600 units.
Yeah.
You know, of kids, and it's just Hispanic communities, you know,
Yeah,
and urban
yeah.
communities, and we would charge per 15 minutes to play our units at,
Oh, y'all
at
were
the
charging-
house. So we would have kids lined up outside the apartment and be like, "What you want to play today? We got all these games." I swear to God,
Oh shit.
all these
Fuck with
games.
that.
And if you want to play for 15 minutes, it's going to be $1. If it's going to play for 30 minutes, and niggas would pay up
Yeah.
front. So we like,
Chrissy cheese. Like
yeah, Chrissy cheese, my nigga. We were over there winning, and it gets better. While you were playing, we had like 15 to 20 kids at on time because we had 3-bedroom apartment and two-bedroom apartment first, and 2 of the rooms, the living room and my mom's room, we would have the nicer TV, so that's where we have the units.
So that's the upgrade.
yeah,
Yeah,
$2.
$2.
Y'all want pickles?
Well, the Nintendo was on the living room, which was the oldest, and the Sega, you know, when the Sega came out, was in the bedroom when my mom's bigger TV, right?
Yeah.
So we would charge a little bit more for that room.
That's
It was-
awesome. I love that,
And
bro.
while you were there, my grandma, being the biggest pimp and who allowed us to make
Yeah.
it, she would cook, nigga.
Oh,
and she would be like, charge for the food, for
Yeah.
more, you know, y'all want some chips, nigga. Like, what we were not selling. It was like, damn, we were running a business from our
Yo, that's
apartment.
fucking
And
awesome,
hell, you'd be
bro.
like, mira, abuelita, me da dos.
Yeah,
banana,
yeah.
una
You ready?
tostada."
Let me get a combo B.
This whole time, my mama had no clue.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Not one clue, because she would have whooped the living shit out of us, because we were literally running a business out of her apartment. But my grandma let us.
Wait. So how would you guys do it when the bill would come on?
Well, my mom would pay it, and my grandma would always help. My mom knew we were home. What else? What else? She bought us those systems. What else? What the fuck we were doing?
Damn, that's
So,
dope.
So we just took advantage of the time that my mom wasn't there. She had to be home by like 6 or some days depending. So
Y'all had business hours?
oh yeah, yes, we did.
He said we
Yes.
close. We open at 8.
Yeah,
Close at
yes,
6.
yes,
5:30
we
because she
did.
might come
Even
early.
sometimes when she would call and be like, "Oh, I'm getting off early," and my mom's clinic, my mom's clinic, she ran a clinic up the street, was like 4 or 5 minutes away. So when she called, like, "Hey, you know, I'm gonna honk and open the garage door,"
Yeah.
we lived right on the corner of the building where you can see the garage gate open and close and all the cars. So we'd be like, you know, right?
Yeah.
So we like 5 minutes, niggas. We got 5 minutes. Refunding niggas, like, fuck. I didn't take my 15 minutes. Like,
You're like, fuck.
seriously, bro, it was like crazy. So I learned to be business minded early
Yeah,
on
from the
But
jump.
Where my mom comes in, we were 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this clear. 11 years old. I was in 6th grade, about to go to middle school, and the pumps came out.
Mm.
Reebok pumps. Remember those?
The lengua.
¿La lengua?
yep.
¿Las lengüitas?
El aire, el pss.
Yeah. No hagas
Yeah. So it was the first time we asked my mom for. I couldn't just buy them.
Yeah.
My mama would have tripped the fuck out if I would have shown up with some brand new shoes.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was spending my money that I was making on my hustles on other kid shit, like
Mhm.
more video arcades, more fucking ice creams and
Yeah.
shit like that, right? So I asked her for these shoes, and she's like, "How much are they?" And they were $100. I remember it was like the biggest thing out there. It's the first $100 pair of shoes.
Yeah.
She said, $100? What the fuck are these shoes made of? And I was like, tienen una pompa,
Yeah.
you know, tienen
Yeah,
el aire,
you had a PowerPoint. Look, Mom.
se inflan de la lengua, mom. It makes
Yeah.
your feet lighter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be able to dunk. Nigga. Like, I literally had to sell the idea, right? So she was like, whatever, right? So she literally developed, my mom's a genius.
Mm-hmm.
It made me the businessman I am now. She developed a board with fucking chores on it and shouldn't put a dollar amount to it.
Oh, shit.
So the bathroom costs $5, you know, once a week. That's a
Yeah.
big job, the whole fucking bathroom and shit like that. The
That's
kitchen,
good.
the dishes, the vacuum, the dusting, bro, cost something. So you want these shoes? She literally gave me a
list,
a yellow notepad, actually a white notepad, no, yellow. The first one was a yellow notepad, and she said, "Tell me how you're going to pay me back." I said, "What do you mean?"
Huh?
You're my mama.
Yeah.
You gonna buy me the shoes? You know what I mean? Like, no. I couldn't say that. She would have whooped the shit out of me. But love you, Mom.
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, I'll buy them for you, but you have to pay me back.
Nice.
Write me a contract." It's the first time I really learned about a fucking contract.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What the?" So I'm 12. Like, my brother's 10. And we go to our room and we sit there and we write a contract. Christian Zelaya, Dan Zelaya, promised to pay back my mom $218, which tax, you know what I mean, back in the day, for these shoes by 30 days, whatever it was.
Right.
And we are going to do so by, now you start picking chores until it adds up to $218. And my mama was a G because she would buy us anything we wanted.
With a price.
As long as we wrote a contract.
Yeah.
And paid her back. So, like I said, business 101. She knew what. I guess at that age, she kind of started realizing that, who gonna stop us? We were just we were wild. We were just all about our paper and like, hustles and stuff. Like, so I started writing contracts for my mom for all sorts of things, and we paid them all back. And one of the rules is if you haven't paid back the old contract, I ain't giving you shit. But she would stick to it, bro. So if you wanted to, remember when the Jumpmans were released after the Jordans? 2 weeks later, the first Saturday was the Jordans, and then 2 weeks later were the Jumpmans. Eddie Jones, Ben Baker, all those back in the day, right? So every 2 weeks you needed to have $125 for these J's. You know what I mean? And I was like, fuck. Like, it was a lot easier to now start asking my mom for $400 or $500 for other stuff. Yeah. And we would work rather than these chump change that we were making on some other stuff. You know, like you can only sell enough erasers. You know what I mean? At 12 years old, no one gives a fuck about an eraser.
You're like, fuck.
They're like, nah, fam, we good. You know what I mean? By that time, you're not spending 50 cents on a 2-cent eraser. Yeah. You know what I mean? So things changed and we developed. The better hustle became when I got a car. My mom started teaching us when I think I was 14 when I first started driving my mom to the market. The market was like 4 or 5 blocks down the street in the neighborhood. Wasn't on a main street or nothing. It was like within a neighborhood.
In the cut, yeah.
So she would let us drive, and after about a year, she would just let me go. Like, so we were driving young, And I was the first kid in high school to have a car, really.
Yeah.
Like, at my 15 years of age, I was mobbing in the car. I was making money elsewhere that, we decided to start. Like I said, I never went to school, guys. So I ditched a lot, but I always did my work. I never had bad grades. I was on, top of my. I could not do that. My mom would have, found out how many. Yeah. She found out how many absences we had at the end of the year. Like, I think my worst one was like 267 absences or something.
Wait, 267?
Yeah, like
that's
something
like more than half the year, man.
Yeah.
You only came on field trip days.
Yeah, real shit.
I swear to you, because I would never really check into my classes. I got to a point where I was doing enough business within the school that I didn't have to go to school in a sense. I literally was paying everybody off. Like, I didn't park at the student parking. I parked at the teacher's parking. I paid the security guard who ran the gate, every day, $20 in order to let me do it. But I was making so much more money off that because once I got a car, my brother got the bright idea of starting to give all our friends rides.
Y'all started Uber from the jump.
Super Uber in a sense. Like just picking up like 8 to 10 people every morning. We would get out like 5:30, 6 in the morning, roll out, go pick up all our friends, drop those fools off, go and pick up the second and come back and go to school, Yeah. And these guys were paying us weekly, like $5 a day for rides instead of taking that stupid ass bus or waiting for their parents or whatever. But we were fucking around most of the time anyway, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
But we were making cheese. Then Danny, another, more ideas from us. We used to ditch to go eat. So straight up, we used to ditch to go eat. Fuck school lunch. So we would go and get whatever we wanted. Chicken Nugget Tuesdays,
I remember Chicken Nugget Tuesdays. This shit was the shit.
You ready? It was $1, right? For 4 nuggets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's when the dollar menu started getting popping.
Yeah.
Popping. So
my boy got excited. He was like,
good old days.
We will double charge whatever you wanted. So if you wanted a number 1 at McDonald's, it was, you know, $5.70 something or whatever it was. 10 hots. We'll bring it to you for lunch. We would take orders from third.
Fresh napkins.
We would take orders. My brother and I would walk around the entire school with our friends and people that we knew had, and take orders from 3rd period, 4th period, 4. Literally, we would go 30 minutes. I would pay the security guard to let us go, and we would come back with a fucking car full of bags, bro. And my brother and I would stand in the back, just like movies. I'm telling you, bro, and pass out bags like so and so's name and hand out money, just clapping dollars everywhere, and it was great. We never needed anything. We had all the J's. Like we were cool kids in a sense, but we worked a lot during the school. That's one hustle. When I was in high school, I worked for the attendance office for 2 years straight, 11th and 12th grade. I had, my mom didn't believe in vacations or any of that shit. You went to school or worked in the summer. You didn't do nothing else. Like, what do you mean you want to go hang out with your friends? Nigga, go make this check. You know? Straight up.
Fuck outta here.
My mom would tell us what our jobs were. Shout out to Mama, you a pimp. She had a lot of friends that had businesses and and shit like that. So we always worked for somebody. One of her friends. Bell's Auto and Wrecking, electrician. Fuck, we've done it all. Like me and Dan we've had, when you say how many jobs I've had, I can't even count them because they weren't really jobs. They were like
just hustling. Like,
what you know. And when you're 14, 15 and making $2,000 a week cash, you don't know what the fuck to do sometimes. You just wild out. And we were rolling. Like my mom's a pimp. She knew we were making money and she would take half. Literally. She would be like, I got you this job. You're making $15 an hour, but when your check comes, I'm taking half. I didn't give a fuck. I swear to God, these people, like the electrical job was one of my favorites, even though it was the most dirtiest, pulling wires in houses and shit like that underground. And
all that
bro,
shit.
There was so much cash that these contractors would give you for your work. I was like,
crazy, huh?
Crazy. So that allowed us to do things. But going back to the school, I worked for the attendance office, and I started pimping readmits and grade changes. Fuck it, y'all can't do nothing 20 years later. Fuck y'all. You know what I mean?
You said you got a C?
Fuck it.
Yeah. Bro,
Let me change that right.
Well, I can't give you an A because you don't look like an A person.
Yeah,
I'll
give you a B.
I was so
That's
cool.
the best I could do.
I was so cool with my school. I never went to class, and it was a well-known thing. Like, it didn't matter because I would go on Mondays and pick up work from the class that I was not going to come and bring back the work on Friday. So as long as I did the work, the teachers were hella cool, you know? So I didn't give a fuck. I was just doing homework when I got home. My mama didn't believe in nothing but homework and read. Are you studying? Like, my mom was one of the stickler to education. So I was going to do that shit anyways when I got home. So, you know what I mean? I did anything else possible outside of that. So when we worked for the school, readmit, you've been absent for 3 days? Damn, your mom, you ditched for 3 days? Your mom can't get you whatever they've been calling. So I'd be like, all right, $25 a day. You need 3 days? That's 75 hots, nigga. What's good? Yeah. And they would come up with the money.
Fuck.
And I was so cool that these teachers, the attendance office was lazy. Shout out to Polytechnic High School.
Oh, you went to Poly? Oh, okay. Hey, you went to Poly? That's what's up. Yeah.
I love you niggas. P house. But the attendance people were old as fuck. Have you ever been to a school where these people have been there forever? The job kind of becomes like
a home second thing.
Fuck it. So I was there already for almost 2 years, but and won their trust. I was a real cool and polite cat, and I painted a great picture, and they loved me. So they would literally 20 to 30 readmits already re-signed just for me to stamp how many days. Because they didn't want me to go into their office every fucking time and be like, hey, can you sign this one? Hey, can you sign this one? Because there was like 20 kids every day. 20, 30 kids absent every day in a school that was about 3,000 kids. So I went to a big high school, and, so there was a gang of kids. So these teachers didn't want to do it. So they would literally hand me stacks signed. And I'd be like, bing, pinky, the brain, fam, the brain. So I was about it. I was like, oh, my God, this is too easy. So it worked the first time, and then I was just talking about it. Hey, and I would notice the teachers would, when they would enter your grades and attendance, all this shit, they literally have to record all those things. So they, at the end of the day, they turn in their sheets. Right. And the next day, my job was to enter these things into the database. If you were absent. Yeah. Your grade at the end of the year, all the teachers just turn it in, and somebody does it. the teacher, I'm not gonna say her name, but the teacher that was supposed to be doing the grades was old as fuck. She's
like, fuck this.
She was Death's mom, nigga. She was Death's mom. Like, she was old, and it would take her forever. So I would help her.
Yeah.
And then eventually she would let me do it.
Yeah, she's like,
So,
fuck it.
So what it would take her a day would take me a few hours. You know what I mean? So I got to know a lot of the people that were fucking up. And I'd be like, all right, this nigga's in this class. Or I know what he
He
has.
said, I'm gonna do my own little sign note.
Yo.
Yeah.
I literally wrote down like 10 guys or whatever that I kind of knew. And
Your top clients?
bro, and I would be like, hey, bro, you're about to get a fail.
Yeah.
In Mr. Leclerc's class. And he's like, for reals? Oh, man, my mom's going to be up there like, but
Say less.
let me holla at you real quick.
Look.
Yeah. So I'm like, but I can help you out. And what do you mean? I'm like, I work for the attendance office. Let me pull in. For reals? I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to charge you. I will charge $50 a grade. So,
It's good prices.
you need a C. That's $150. I was doing that like 5 times a day.
Damn, I wish I had you in my high school, bro.
Bro.
Real. Now you think of this government class was fucking
Yeah. Chemistry was not my friend.
Bro, it was different, bro. We were beyond our years with my brothers, and I don't know. We've just always been survivors. So anywhere we went, we kind of always saw an opportunity. It was never just, like cookie cutter. Like, they want you to do good until you do better, and that's what really happens in life. Like, you either are stuck there by choice or you do something about it. And we just chose to do something about it everywhere we went. Like, who limits you in what you do and what you can do?
Yeah.
Yourself, bro. And I learned that the hard way. You stop yourself more than you're your worst enemy. I've never had the fear of failing.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy failing because it's different. It teaches you some valuable lessons. And sometimes, those lessons are something that no one in your family has ever learned. And can't even understand. And we're in a very different position. I have 2 kids, that I love and changed my world. But I didn't have a dad growing up. So, what example do I have? Or anyone, if you've been in a broken home, you've made it thus far, but could you be the broken link and chain to your next generation? That's kind of where I'm at right now with my brand, with my kids, with my life. Like, I own my own time. But
hey, shout out to Abuelita and Mama, man.
Man, bro,
they paved the way, huh?
Pave the way. All my cousins too. I love them too. They, they're haters, but I love them. Don't be mad at me more than you. And they're still there, bro. And that's the sadness. Like, I'm blessed to be sitting here in front of you in this podcast just to even tell my story, because more than 80% of our lives and our families are still in the same position they were before they even got here. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm growing as I go, and I've learned to love by losing, and I love to lose, bro.
Yeah.
So losing to me is something that everyone has to do. I don't know anyone that's been successful that's never lost, never failed.
Yeah,
true. So what are you afraid of? Yeah, you're going to fail. If you don't know that somehow, doesn't mean whatever you're doing right now, but failure comes with anything new that you try. And then within that balance, you either give up because you fear it, or you listen to somebody else. Oh yeah, I have a cousin who did that shit and it was all bad, and now even the fear is even bigger.
Yeah.
But I don't like to count my losses before they've happened. Because when you start saying, well, what if you've already lost?
Yeah.
Already. Because you're already thinking of the loss that already happened. So how are you going to recover? I don't believe in a plan B. If you have a plan B, you're going to fail at plan A.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
So
Facts.
why even think of a plan B? Just give it everything you got at A, and plan B comes when that A is no longer there. But
Hey.
you know what I mean? I had fun.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I'm blessed to be in a position to change my life right now. I'm 40 years old. I'm 39 years old, about to be 40, but I feel like I just woke up. And watch out for the brand. We coming
And when did you feel like the business got serious? Like after all the high school shit, was it when you got into the sneaker world? Like when did it start? When you feel like, all right, you know what? It's time to make the money. You know what I mean?
The real,
take this
the real,
yeah,
the real.
Yeah.
By losing everything I've ever worked for, including my business. Shout out, just incredible. I love you, my nigga. But I failed. Ultimately, you know, my client's bigger than he needs to be because he got someone who has that backing and support and believes in him as well. We believed him in a very different place, but I didn't know what the fuck I was really doing.
Yeah.
You know, I gave it a go and we did great. I'm blessed to say we accomplished some great things and memories that no one can take away. But I feel by failing my friend, I guess, ultimately, my squad, my team, I felt like this needs to get even more serious. Like I need to stop playing. I need to really focus on something because I've always been a man of many crafts. I'm a survivor, but ultimately you got to pick a kitchen if you want to cook.
Right.
You know, so I'm learning to cook very differently nowadays when it comes to my own life. I'm very choosy about my ingredients. You know,
yeah.
If you catch my drift, you are your own everything, but we don't ever give ourselves that credit. Like you haven't talked to you in a hot minute. When was the last time you talked to yourself? You know, really?
Yeah.
When was the last time you cried to somebody and meant it and didn't fear being judged? So the last time you had a real conversation with somebody that you felt comfortable enough to do so. It's hard to find those people.
Oh shit.
And we don't know how the fuck are you supposed to know what to do when something happens when it's never happened to you?
Yeah.
So if you go in it with that fear, I could promise you the world. I'm a salesman, as they say, but actions speak louder than words. And the actions that I was providing in my drowning of life, like you got to drown in order to learn to swim, in the saying. Right now I feel like I'm floating up. Like I gave it a go, but I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't prepared. I didn't execute things that I should have now, looking back. But you don't know. I was literally having a whirlwind of a time chasing a dream with one of my friends. The squad is still the squad. Shout out, you know, Empire. But, you know, we're in very different places. You know, we grew up together. We've cried together. We've lost together. And I guess about 4.5 years ago, you know, 5, when the decision had to be made to let go of the feeling that I could do this for my friend when in reality I couldn't, was a real big wake-up call for me, because I realized then that my potential was bigger than I ever even gave myself the opportunity to think it was. I believed, but I didn't believe. Like, now I take everything slower, you know? So I woke up, man, 4.5 years ago. I feel like my life's changed because I realized the potential of one's mind. And like the Matrix is a real story for me in the sense of how I look at life. You either are in with the crowd or you're literally the difference. And I was never focused on my happiness, you know, my desires, my dreams. I was always worried about everybody else's. But how am I supposed to teach you, give you direction if I'm lost?
Yeah,
That's true.
So I found myself, and for once I'm mapping my own course in order to get to a very different level, to leave a legacy for my children, for myself, for my family, like, you know, what you work hard for. Like, I'm a very different person, but it takes a moment like that, of that magnitude, to make you realize who you are. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. In my case, it was good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to let go of someone you feel like you helped develop, but they outworked me.
Yeah. So people that don't know, like, because you were involved in the music business before, like, not people that know you for Empire Motor Group, right? Like,
yes.
You were involved in the music business. Like, can you talk how you got into that so that people kind of know what's that about?
Going back to the shoe head thing, I used to be the shoe guy for a lot of people in the industry. Not a lot, just a few well-known LA cats. And we, you know, the story goes, I used to have a friend who used to run a Hollywood, Caesar. If you're listening to this, shout out to you. He gave us one of our first opportunities, you know, to do this. And they were looking for a DJ. And in that case, it was it was a well-known DJ at the time.
Yeah.
And we made we negotiated a very good deal for him.
Yeah.
And I realized that I can do this for my friend Justin, who was my first client. He was the first person who believed in what we could do. You know, I used to have friends in the industry who had the hottest nights in town, and they would book anyone they wanted. And I was getting Justin some of these looks that a lot of these hot shots couldn't get because of how we were approaching the industry. I think Empire Management Group started as a different company. Actually, we started as Shoehead Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
That was my nickname, Shoehead. And it was stupid logo. Do you remember that remember that logo with the Nike shoe when he was smoking it and he was a skeleton? I don't know, back in the day it was Shoehead. If you look it up, it's a Nike logo for an old drop, and I used that as a logo, and it was stupid, bro. I was like, this nigga smoking a shoe on the card. I was like, what the fuck?
Fuck.
That didn't last too long. You know, and the conversation kind of came about with my younger brother, and we were kind of, I just want to build an empire, you know, and that name kind of popped in there. You know, we went through many different logos, and we liked our simple logo, but I did a lot of good business with a lot of great people in this industry. Shout out to the Supreme team, you know, being one of the bigger ones that has followed us, and they're still clients and friends now. Yeah. But we all came up together in some of these hot nights back in the day. And because of the style of business that we would do, we were blessed to, you know, make great relationships. So, you know, we would do things like calling into places to request our client before the nights, and even if it was 3 to 5 calls, you know, a week, you were still asking for someone that they've never heard of, so that person could go and speak to their promotion team who they set up and be like, hey, have you heard of Just Incredible? Like, we would go to meetings, random meetings. We never went to the club to party. My brother and I would ask you at the door, the main promoter. Most people come nowadays and they're like, hey, we want to party with you. Can I get in? Me and my people. And it's the bullshit. And this guy's thinking about 30 other things that are going on. The door, the thing, the tables, DJ's fucking up, the sound's off, whatever. So I approached it differently. I literally, everyone has office hours. Everyone, you know, it's, I worked for Finish Line. Every Monday we had office hours, 8 to 10. You work on all your files, shit like that, right? So I kind of got into that mindset. So I'd be like, hey, I know you're working right now. Your night looks fucking hot. I'd love to work with you guys. You know, when's the best time to call you? And I would hand out my business card, and my business card to me is very important. So I would get a lot of love for it. So these people immediately had a memory. You know, what makes you different than anybody else that comes into that place, you know, to ask for work? I got the hottest DJ. I got this song, like so much levels of bullshit that they deal with, that the last thing they're thinking about is booking you for next month while they're going on, their night's going on. So I would request office hours, and then I would just follow up, bro. My brother was amazing at that. He would, you know, call and, hey, we'd like to work, and they'd be like, who? You know, like who or what, or anyone that we were pitching, Justin in this case. And Justin was well prepared. He had an EPK made. You know, he had a good website. He had his own little brand going, and we just kind of fed off that energy. Justin's one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life. Like, he outworked me. You know what I mean? Like, that impressed me a lot and kind of motivated me to be in this position now, where I didn't realize, do you ever sleep? Like, god damn. But he wouldn't be who he is right now if he didn't do those things, you know? And here I am complaining about some shit, and I'm still not where I want to be. Do you feel me? So I've never pushed myself or challenged myself to those levels of business, and doing so now. But we changed the game when it came to managing. No one had a manager back then. Nobody. Still, not many have managers, unless you're assigned big artist like Scam, you know, or who else is out there? DJ City, a bunch of different guys, like, you know, that still do their own little internal managing. Like, but we started that. There was nobody who someone carried your backpack, security. There was somebody who handled your door, you know, all your guests, me, the manager, blah, blah. We had people who brought the party. Like, we came well prepared. So we were doing things differently. You would book us, and for the money that we were requesting, you would get a lot more than the guy that was just asking for the same amount of money or a little bit less but not bringing shit. How many people have asked you guys as DJs, how many people can you bring? It's the first fucking
All the
question
time.
they ask.
Yeah,
that's true.
all the time.
But you're the artist. Why are you? It's not your responsibility to go out there and do those things. You're the artist. You provide the show. You have that ear.
Yeah.
You're not a marketing guy. You're not a booking agent. Like
Yeah.
a lot of these amazing friends that I have are introverts like that. They don't want to do the business end of it.
Yeah.
Fuck
They
that.
just want to
life.
go play.
They just want to go do their thing and rock. You have that. You've been thinking about it all
Yeah.
week. You have a form. You have set up a show. Blah blah. And now you got to worry about the niggas
Like
who can't
selling
get
a ticket and all that.
And
shit.
then,
Thank you.
not only
Whack.
that, but while you're DJing, you got people going, "Hey, I'm outside. Hey, I'm this and that." And it's just like, damn, like I don't want to be dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
I'm in a creative space right now.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Tell him what you do.
Hey, Roger, can you go? Hey, here's my
He's all
phone.
like-
Hey, Roger, here's my phone.
Like, yo, we got people right here, bro. And I'm
Bro,
like,
because
"Here,
I'm
give me
like,
that shit."
because I feel like every time I'm on, somebody's always gonna be they're listening, and it's like I don't want to be worried about yo. I'm outside. I'm
and,
like,
they,
fuck.
and they get mad. Like Nick, like I'm still supposed to do this, but
Yeah.
but like y'all just enjoy yourself. But they want
Yeah.
you to do the thing. Like, and I would fight a lot of people. Not physically, but a few of them. Shout out Denny. My brother's a snapper. That nigga will jump real quick. He'll ask questions later, but he's about his money. But a lot of these cats who would try to play you and stuff like that, when you're prepared, they can't. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I don't care what you have to tell me. My client did his job.
Right.
And if you don't have someone really fighting for you, what do? Most people cower and just go,
Yeah.
That's true.
and bounce. So even if I had to chase you for it, I'd call you. Once
Yeah.
again, shout out Danny. He's amazing at that. He would just
Yeah.
call you. Where's my money? He's Stewie Griffin. Where's my money? You got my money, man? Got my money? I want my money now. Like super.
Yeah.
And like I said, we still shake hands with people who owe us thousands of dollars, and that never will pay us.
Yeah.
But it's not about that.
Fuck it.
If you concern yourself, the way I see it is, when someone owes you money, or you owe money, whatever, when someone owes you money and you're so adamant about getting it back, it could take so much of your energy and you become something that you don't want to become.
That's true.
Yeah.
So the way I see debt, or someone, if I've given you something, I've helped you with something, I'm not expecting anything back now, because with money, whatever you owe me is what I just paid you to go away, because you will never ask me for that money again or help again, because you're embarrassed because you ain't paid me back.
That's true.
So switch the mindset. Fuck
Yeah.
it. They owe you $200. Who gives a fuck? How much time, energy, and effort are you going to put into that thought? Damn, this nigga owes me $200. Damn, this nigga owes me $200. Damn, hey, have you seen this nigga? That's a lot of energy.
Yeah. That's on that person.
So hey, enjoy the $200. Thank you. That's all it took for him to never come bother you. So it's learning to change the mindset and how you approach things.
Yeah.
So think about it.
It is.
You don't have to chase them. They got to call you and see you. They're the ones worried about seeing you, having to, be around you. Keep doing you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Keep doing you. Don't change your being for something like that. Like, that's a waste of time. You've spent more time, energy, and money trying to get those $200. Like, they'll never ask you again. So you paid them to go away. That's how I feel. So it's something different. Or when someone says no, don't get mad about it. Why not?
Yeah.
It's okay to ask.
Yeah.
Everyone has reason. Or with the bookings, everyone was booked, 2-3 weeks at a time most of the times. So a lot of DJs come in and be like, I want to book next week. I want to be at that club next week, but you ain't done the work to even get to those levels of work,
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get Playhouse when you've done fucking Crazy Horse one time, and that's like no.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah.
So put in the work in order to get there. So we never used to ask for next week, 2 weeks, a week. When's your next available calendar date that's open?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 3 months from now, I'll take it.
It's a date.
It's a date.
Yeah.
So now when people don't have to look at their current calendar and try to fit you in, you already set.
Yeah, you're in August and shit. Fuck it.
Yeah, there was a time where, bro, we were booked 6 nights a week for weeks straight. No sleep. Like blurs.
Yeah.
Blurs. Shout out Paris Hilton. She made life great.
And then what shifted to, going, you know what? I love cars. Let's run it. Let's run the...
Well, I got into the shoe game, and through that, I was able to book my friends and tried a dream, chased a dream.
Right.
It didn't make me enough money to live a dream.
Right.
I still had a full-time job. So fuck Finish Line.
They
were great.
We upgraded.
We upgraded.
Yeah.
They did me dirty. They passed me up some shit, and it was dumb. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who used to buy his staff. They used to sell cars down the boulevard in Van Nuys, and I was at the Panorama City Store. I opened up the Simi Valley,
Shit.
Topanga, the Valencia Town Center, and the Panorama City Store. And when I was, the last store was the Panorama City Store, and I was there, and we were doing the whole store. I met a group of guys from Volkswagen of Van Nuys. Shout out David Cole and Jason Aero, Meatball. And he was fat back in the day. And I didn't know his real name for a hot minute. It was just Meatball. So, yes. God.
Fuck, what's his name?
Yes. And she knows his little brother now is one of my best friends. So
Yeah.
because of them, I'm in the industry. I was literally, they introduced me to like the finer things in life, you know, cigars and golf and like, you know,
Yeah.
just friends. These guys would come with cash, like wads of cash at the car business and walk into my Finish Line and be like, yo, I want to buy this. Thousands of dollars worth of merchandise at any given time because they were
Yeah.
just balling out of robbing people in fucking dealerships, you know, like what we all
Yeah.
knew car guys were.
That's true.
So I don't know about you guys, but my all our family hates car guys. Who doesn't?
Yeah, everybody
You know,
hates the
everybody
dealership.
fucking
Everybody hates
so
the dealership.
I became friends with these guys, and one day, you know, this guy comes in, and I've never met him before. His name's David Cole. He's Caucasian. He's about 6'1", but he's the most niggerish person I've ever met in my life. Like, he is black. He was black before. That's my nigga. He married an African lady. Like, he's about his
Yeah.
brotherhood, but he is super white with like blue eyes, you know? So he comes in one day and he's like, hey, I'm looking for some running shoes. I don't know who this guy was. And at this time, the Air Max 360s were the first to drop ever with the full sole full of air. Remember those? They were $350.
Damn.
Brand new, but they were less than 8 ounces. They felt like pillows. It was like amazing, right? And runners would line up and buy these shoes. Like,
Yeah.
literally. So he comes up and he's like, I want to get back in shape. I need some running shoes. What do you got? $1,000 later at the register, he's like, you need to come work for me. And I'm like, what do you do? He's in a suit. He's in a
You like, it depends.
he's in a Burberry suit.
Yeah.
He's just fat, right? And I'm like, what do you do? He's wearing a Rollie. He's wearing Gamos, you know, Ferragamo shoes. Like he's looking the part, you know?
Right.
And he's like, you need to work for me. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, no, seriously, how much money do you make? And I'm like, weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Enough. You know? And he's like, no, seriously, what do you make, like $5,000 a month? And I'm like, yeah, about $5,000 a month, right? And he's like, what if I can double that? You need to come work for me. And I'm like, I still don't know what you do.
Yeah, what do you do?
He's like, I'm the finance director at Volkswagen of Van Nuys. I'm like, oh, I know a lot of your fucking guys. No, I'm cool. I don't want to be a car guy. He's like, bro, you got the gift. You need to come work for me. I'm like, no, thank you. I appreciate it. But he's like, I'm about to call my wife and tell her that I'm about to run this credit card for $1,000. You're about to get my ass kicked. But I cannot not buy this. You did a hell of, he's like, you need to come work. You sold me. The colorway was the Mets. He's a big Mets fan. And I knew, when he told me that, there was a jersey. You know how we go. I need the shoes, the jacket.
I gave him the package deal.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna give you a package B.
I don't usually do this.
I got exactly what you need.
Yeah.
And I sold them everything from fucking socks to shoe cleaner. I did the demo. You know how that goes. Nigga, I was one of those cats.
The email list, everything.
Nigga, he signed up and got points.
Rewards card.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he literally stood there for like 10 minutes and was like, bro, I don't want to leave without at least, like, come interview. I'm like, I don't want to be a car guy. Y'all niggas rob niggas. I see y'all come with money and shit. He's like, don't you want to make money?
You're like, fuck.
That's when I had to, like, tap myself on the shoulder and be like, we thought about it. And I was like, yeah, but I can't leave. I'm up for this promotion. I was like kind of selling my business, you know, like Finish Line was great, but they did me dirty. So one day he befriended me after that. I said no. Every 2 days, 3 days, this nigga would call me and be like, you need to come work for me.
Yeah.
When do you want to come work for me?
You're like, fuck.
You ready to come work for me? Like, just over and over for about a month. And 1 day he befriended me after that. I said no. Every 2 days, 3 days, this nigga would call me and be like, you need to come work for me. When do you want to come work for me? You're like, fuck. You ready to come work for me? Like, just over and over for about a month. And I said, finally he invited me, do you play golf? And I'm like, I go to the driving range and wild out like Happy Gilmore. Nigga. I didn't know nothing about golf. I knew I liked Tiger Woods because I fucked with the Nike dad hats back in the day with the Bills, and that's all I wore in high school with polos, still button up to the top. Like, that was my look.
All day.
So people would call me Tiger, right? So that's all I knew of golf. Tiger.
Yeah.
Never played it, nothing. And this fool introduced me to it. He was like, let me take you to play some golf. And apparently I'm pretty good at golf. And I'm a big dude, so I'd be hitting hard. So this nigga calls me John Daly. She'll tell you, like, it's stupid. So I'm like, God damn, I could really hit this shit, right? So he's like, bro, you're a natural. He try to teach me. I never got into it still. Like, I just do it for fun.
Yeah.
But I'm a big guy, so I hit long. So he was like, come with me to golf. Come with me. And we became friends. He taught me to smoke cigars, how to really do it, like smoking shit. And the first time I smoked a cigar, I damn near vomited everything in my shit because I'm hitting blunts in my life. I'm not hitting cigars. So when I hit the cigar, I hit that shit like a mean blunt. Like, I damn near killed myself. If you've ever smoked a cigar and choked, it's the worst. But one day playing golf, he was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Man, you're not your same. And I was quiet. I literally had just been passed up on this promotion, and I was like, man, I just got passed up on a promotion. I kind of like vented, for the first time ever to this guy who, you hear this saying, you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you will be the 6th. Yep. So this guy made way more money than I've ever made. So I was kicking it with him and learning. And he would always say, you're going to make the biggest deals on a golf course because you never know who you play with. Like, the guy who's there on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock, what the fuck is he doing there on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock that he's allowed to do that? Like, so you never know who. And I've played golf with fucking CEOs of big companies, surgeons, like some amazing people. Yeah. All these people still need, service. In his case, cars. I'm the finance director of a dealership. Like, so his network, I was like, damn, this nigga's doing it. Here I am learning how to fish. I now teach anybody how to fish, anybody, but I'm not responsible for your fish.
Bars.
Bars.
I like fish.
So he was like, what do you mean? They passed you up. Without finishing my sentence, he's like, I'll pay you 25% more to come work for me. I'm like, you can't do that. You're the finance director. You don't have that authority. I've been there 17 years, nigga. That's my store. You get 25. And he did. He came. Shout out David Cole. He hired me, guaranteed me my first month, at a certain amount of money. And it was dope. And the first month I was top man. I broke the store record, got myself a name on the little plaque. It was pretty dope. 6 months later, I was basically a manager. Like, there's nothing I didn't know how to do at that point, and I was really good at what I did. Because selling cars it is what it is. It's a mind fuck. But if you're good at presenting yourself and a product, you'll do well. Like, anywhere. I could sell vacuums, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll do it. Just, it's how you present it. So I was very good at it, and he loved it. And that's how I became the car guy. I still had a full-time job while chasing my dream. I would work 10-hour days, 12-hour days as a manager at a dealership, and literally go home, hang out with the wifey at the time, and for an hour or two, and leave by like 11:45. We didn't work. We weren't on until like 12:45 anyways. We would do 90 minutes max. So 12:30 max earliest, and we go on till 2. Get paid, go home. And then I'd literally go home and sleep like 3 or 4 hours every day and go right back to work. Every day. 10 hours. Instead of lunch, I would nap. Instead of, like, however you could do it, you do it. And there was days, like I said, it's blurry, but you did it. And the car business kind of evolved, as the time went with the internet and stuff. So my services are very different now. I am now an automotive broker, which is what I used to do for Keys. I used to be the internet sales director for the Keys group, the Audi store in particular. And the rich don't buy cars the way you and I do. They don't waste time. Brad Pitt makes $200,000 a day. Why the fuck would he take a day off to go hope? You'll lose $200,000 plus whatever else he could have made and done, So they'll call a broker and say, here's my budget. I don't want to spend more than X, Y, Z. It's how they stay rich. The rich stay rich by paying the least amount of money for everything. It's privilege. But we are cattle. Your mom, your parents, your uncle, your cousins, they don't know how to fucking buy a car. They just go to the dealer. Ve al dealer. Tengo un amigo en el dealer. No, nigga, that ain't your friend.
Be there for 6 hours.
Still, and you still have to go to upstairs. You ain't done. You just half. You're about to go upstairs and fight the finance guy for another hour. It's a gaggle fuck. And it's based on all they can get off you before even asking for the loan. You sign for a fucking amount of dollars before they even send the money to go get it. You know, the rich don't do that. The rich literally pay below invoice. There's a department at every dealership that is, sole purpose is to help brokers and fleet clients. People like Hertz and Enterprise who are buying 10 plus cars at a time. They get the biggest discounts. You know? They're going to buy 10 right now? Cool. I'll give you 8% off each one. There's no way humanly possible you as a normal consumer is going to walk in and get $8,000 or $10,000 off any car.
Right.
Impossible. 2, 3 maybe, but that's still an invoice. So I now call myself Robin Hood to the hood.
Right.
Like I
Hashtag, baby. Hashtag.
Yeah.
hashtag, I rob dealerships for a living, and I provide the savings to my clients. I rob dealerships for a living and give it to the people in a sense, and I don't charge for my services. We get paid by every loan that gets processed, and that way I don't have to sell you shit. I don't have a boss to schedule a dress code. I literally provide a white glove service that every rich person has already, but to a community that's never had it. I educate people in where your money is going. It's how the rich stay rich. By going through my services one time, you will never buy a car the same way ever again. So I have a few friends here, as you see us.
I'm a buyer.
Yeah, he's one of my clients. I don't like saying buyers because I didn't sell him nothing.
Yeah.
He just asked me for
Cameraman, a buyer too.
Yeah, everybody in here.
So everyone here is a client. A lot of these characters that I named growing up, all my DJ friends, and they're still amazing clients. My brand wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So it all interlocks together, I guess, as a puzzle. And you have to fail and grow, drown, swim, climb. There's nothing I am done to be sitting here in front of you. And there's nothing I won't do to continue to be able to sit in front of many people and provide, like I said, try to leave a legacy. And one day at a time, tomorrow's a new day. And, we're blessed to do this every day for my people. So if anyone out there needs help, understanding, wants to know, wants to go drive a car, don't go by yourself. Get yourself a broker and let us provide you a very different way of acquiring the same vehicle without wasting your time.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I like that.
shout out Empire Motor Group, hashtag, or at us, DM me for any information.
Yeah.
You can also follow me, the one CHC,
Yes, right.
THE, the number one CHC. The
Right.
one cheese, as everyone says.
Yeah.
One cheese.
And for you, bro, like, despite all the great qualities you have of fucking hustling and all that shit, one thing that I see a lot, and I admire you for that, is that you're a great pops. You're a great dad. What makes you keep that balance?
Asking yourself every day why you do it. So I do it for my children.
Yeah.
I have a purpose now.
Yeah.
Before I was selfish.
Yeah.
And you don't know those things. Now
Yeah.
that you have a focus, and until you get to those ages, you don't know. And situations, some people get married early, have kids. In my case, I had kids. And
Yeah.
I do it for them. I've never been this focused as I am now.
Yeah.
But having children changed my life. So I do it because I didn't have a father, and I want to be the best dad possible because it's a choice, and I'm choosing to do so.
Yeah.
So I do it for my kids, man.
Yeah. And then where do you see Empire, man? Like, what's the next step? Like,
One of my biggest aspirations is to host the NBA All-Stars here 1 year, brought to you by, Empire Motor Group, right?
Yeah.
It's possible. If you build it, they will come. You know? So I'm trying to take my branding to a very different level, and we sponsor MMA fighters. We have 4 of them now.
I seen that. That's dope, bro.
We're trying to be in the racing game. I'm trying to one day do the gumball 3000 challenge and drive all over Europe and with some exotic cars. Like the sky's not the limit.
Yeah.
So I'm flying high right now, and I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. So what's next? Whatever I want it to be.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's who gonna stop me? So
And before we wrap it quick, Chris, my bad, before we wrap it up, I want to ask you a quick question of would you rather? Would you rather go about your normal day naked or fall asleep for a year?
I got a big dick, so I'm gonna walk around naked.
Okay. Would you rather be
Bow!
invisible
Fucking
or
blessed,
be
man.
able to read minds? Would you rather be invisible or be able to read minds?
I'm a silent killer. Killers kill in silence. So I'd rather be invisible.
Okay. Would you rather end hunger or hatred?
Say it again.
Would you rather end hunger or hatred?
hatred because if you're not hungry, you ain't gonna eat.
Ooh, okay. Next question. Would you rather not be able to use your phone or your email? Oh,
Fuck my email.
like that. Last question. Last fucking question. Would you rather always get first dibs or the last laugh?
If you eat, I eat is one of my philosophies. So I don't care about eating first. I'd rather get the last laugh because so many people doubted me, and I enjoy laughing at you once I've accomplished what you.
That's what I'm talking
Let's
about,
go.
baby.
Let's
Let's
get
get
it.
it. Let's get it.
Let's go. Appreciate that, Chris. Good looking,
go.
man. We out.
Thank you.